Pizzarelli with eXp Realty. I'm the Green Space Group, and I'm here interviewing Kenny Olson from eXp Realty, and he has been a licensed realtor for many decades. He's been with eXp since 2019, and I just want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Kenny, if you don't mind.
I would love to. Thanks for asking me. So real estate broker for 32 years, and I refer to myself as a reformed broker owner. And this model is what helped me redefine, what it is to be a broker owner without the liability, without the responsibility. It's quite liberating, and yet you can still have the leverage that I think most broker owners are interested in when they decide, hey, I want to be a real estate broker and I want to have a bunch of agents working with me.
No, I agree. I'm the same as you in the business for a little over 30 years, and same thing. It is a great model. Do you want to talk a little bit about what made you want to make that move and how you benefit from it?
Sure. I got to go back a little bit in time. So I got introduced to the model in September of 16, very dismissive of it. I looked at it, and I've commissioned out many thousands of transactions in my career. And I was wondering how all of this money is being spread around. And I was thinking that this was not going to last. And so 2017, 18, and 19, I was getting phone calls from agents that I respect that had joined eXp. And they had asked me, hey, have you looked at eXp? And I could tell them, yes, I have. But I didn't look at it with intention. I looked at it more out of respect for the person that asked me to look. But I was pretty locked into what I was doing, and I was not going to make a move. So fast forward, December of 19, Tom Trong calls me up and he says, hey, have you looked at eXp? And I said, yeah, I have. And he said, I don't think you understand it. Will you have breakfast with me? I said, of course. And if anyone knows me, I'll always listen because I never know if I'm going to hear something that might get my attention. Plus, I also look at it as an opportunity to learn. And I respect Tom, so we had breakfast. And when he showed it to me, it had gone from 1,700 agents and a penny stock to 24,000 agents publicly traded on the NASDAQ. And I looked at the model in a way that I didn't understand it, 3 years prior. So when I understood it, I knew I needed to make a decision. I was very content with the brokerage I was with. I was a broker owner for several decades, went to a independent boutique brokerage, June of 14. So here I am 5 years later and content, had built out a team, and I liked the model where I was at. It was an attractive split and I wasn't going anywhere. But when Tom showed this to me, I remember coming home talking to my wife and saying, Christine, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to be leaving the brokerage that I'm at, or at least I think I am. I'm going to take a couple of weeks and really think about it and be deliberate. And that's what I did. And I never looked back once I understood the model.
It seems to be once you see it, you can't unsee it, right?
Right on.
And how has it helped you with your career? Opportunities have you found yourself having because you've joined eXp Realty? So
it's better inside than outside. I think a lot of people can look at this like myself and think this sounds too good to be true. And how is this possible? And I look for 5 components in a business: leverage, scale, duplication, retention, and sustainability. And sustainability is number 1, because if it's not around, I have no interest in starting something that I can just make a run for a couple of years and then it's going to go away. I don't want to introduce somebody to a flash model. And I'm someone that I'm consistent. When I start out on anything, I finish what I start. And I've been in a 23-year marriage. I love my wife. We have 2 beautiful kids. I went to college 4 years. I've lived in the same town for 50 years. If I buy a car, I own it for 10 years. So I'm just someone that stays with it. And that's why after 5 years at that boutique brokerage, I was not looking to make a move. But when I saw this, as you said, I couldn't unsee it. And so fast forward to today, I have 25 agents in my revenue share, and the 80-20 split, terrific. 16 cap, terrific. I have eXp agent healthcare. My healthcare was over $2,000 a month. It's $1,150. I have dental and vision. with the 1150. I didn't have dental and vision with over 2,000 a month.
I know, that's great, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. And, stock, I never bought a stock in my life. I have hundreds of eXp shares now as just a function of doing business. I'm not acquiring it by going to, the NASDAQ and buying it or wherever. I don't buy stock, but I own it again, they set you up with a Morgan Stanley account, and just transactionally, you earn shares. And the mantra that I try to express to people: agent owned, agent grown, agent success obsessed. With every fiber in my being, I think Glenn Sanford gets up in the morning thinking, how do I make the model better for the agent? And it keeps getting better. And I call it a pile on, and there's a reason there's now 80,000 agents, and it's not because the model doesn't work. The model is that good. And I believe there would be double that many agents. I think there's a lot of the major franchises that those broker owners are locked into franchise agreements that they can't get out of, or it would cost them
I agree.
hundreds of thousands of dollars to break, then get sued in the process. But they're looking at this model saying, oh my God, if this existed when I locked myself into this franchise agreement, I would have never done that. I mean, for $149, it's embarrassing, really, when you say to someone, unlimited territory, and then all that you get for $85 a month to run your business. It's nothing short of extraordinary. And again, it's better when you're inside than when you're outside, because you get to see the culture. You get to see the collaboration. I'm in work chat every day. All 80,000 of us are in work chat. I can identify. I can just identify somebody. Their title shows up, both, from the corporate side and then from the agent side. If I want to reach out to Glenn Sanford, the founder of the company, I just go to work chat and I send him a work chat. Or Jason Gessing, the president of the company, I just go to work chat. And I think the design of what has been built here is what some of the smarter real estate cloud-based brokerages were trying to figure out. And Glenn and Jason and the corporate team did it with leverage and scale and duplication and retention, and then that sustainability piece, which the deepest debt of gratitude that I found the model, that I was open-minded enough to listen. I thank God for that.
Right. No, I mean, as a fellow broker owner myself, you wear a lot of hats as the owner. Like I found a lot of people that were owners or team leaders. They've stepped into a leadership role within eXp as far as training and teaching from their experience. Can't believe like how many people are so willing to help one another within this company. I've been around the block a few times myself, and it's just such a company that's so big that everybody is so willing to help each other with not expecting anything in return, which is absolutely fabulous. It's a great culture, I think.
Yeah, the agent owned, agent grown, agent success obsessed piece is, the better you do, the better the stock does, the better I do. Spirit of cooperation that you couldn't find in a brokerage. If you went to a local franchise, those agents are not sharing, best practices. This model, it not only encourages, it reimburses agents for sharing best practices, and with all of the cloud training, real-time cloud training with current training, current experience, not 25 years ago what I did. I'm interested in what you did yesterday, not what you did a year ago, because that's relevant. I consider Glenn Sanford a savant with real estate brokerage. He had a vision and he's been seeing it through and executing on it. And I don't even know that he thought it could be as good as it's gotten. And that's what excites me. There's room for improvement. And that's what we'll continue to see. Now we have Rev Share Plus. I mean, come on. It's,
Do you want to explain what Rev Share Plus is?
Yeah, so it's the ancillary businesses within the eXp environment that generate revenue. And now it's shared amongst the eXp agents, completely separate from revenue share, and the revenue share piece and versus profit share is a world apart. Revenue share out of the company dollar, not out of the agent dollar, versus a profit share model where you're getting paid profit after expenses and what someone says, hey, this is what my profit was. There's no hiding the baseball with the eXp model. The level of transparency with the compensation plan allows you to understand, where the dollars are coming from, and anyone looking at this, I would encourage you, if someone reaches out to you to show you this model, spend 15 minutes. And at minimum, and I tell this to agents, at minimum, you'll be able to go cut a better deal for yourself because now you'll know what you're really worth. If a brokerage is offering you a 70-30 split with no stock and no cap, they're not giving you the best option, and maybe they can say, oh, you'll grow into it. Well, you can do it immediately over here.
Right. I absolutely agree. I mean, like you, I was in the same situation with owning a brokerage. It's just once you unsee it, you can't unsee it. That's what they say. And it's true. You want to give us a little history on where your market area is and your clientele and how you can help people?
Sure. So in my early 20s, I got licensed. And when you're in your early 20s and you're trying to work with a buyer client or a seller client, and they're putting the biggest transaction of their lifetime in the hands of an early 20-something, may not end up so well. They want someone with experience. And so I discovered a world of foreclosures. And I started to represent corporate clients because they didn't know how old I was. I wasn't meeting with them. I was talking to them over the telephone, and there was no Zoom, there was no Facebook. They couldn't, I could just act as if I had experience. The first major client I got was Freddie Mac, and Freddie Mac meant now I could get Fannie and Citi and Bank of America. Probably 150 institutional sellers. Hundreds of agents came through my brokerage. I handled many thousands of files and got a lot of experience. That experience now is transactional because at the end of the day, understanding the transactions, whether it's $1 million transaction or a $100,000 transaction, I was actually the king of the low sale. And this was 90, 91, 92, 93. I would get calls from appraisers and they're like, how did you sell it this low? And a lot of the properties that I was handling, they were marginal properties. They were distressed properties. They needed a lot of work. And it wasn't like people were lining up to buy them. I had inventory that could get stale in that market as well. Interest rates were higher. The market, was just more volatile. Right. So the experience that I have is I understand both the brokerage owner perspective, and then I understand the agent perspective, the buy side perspective, the list side perspective. And so, and I'm always willing, like I got mentored when I was in my early 20s, and I asked the person that mentored me, why are you doing this? And the answer he gave me was pay it forward, when it's your turn to do it. And this is a great platform to pay it forward. And I get calls regularly from agents that I was given the time, so I give them the time.
That's really wonderful. And it's very rare too. So thank you for that. And if anybody needs to contact you or anything and wants more information about eXp or help with selling or buying a home, how could they contact you?
Yeah, so my email, Kenny, Kenny, Olson, OLSONRE @gmail.com. The RE is for real estate, but it's abbreviated. And the cell is 401-225-3632. And I live in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I am a kitchen broker, and I think that phrase was not an endearing phrase when I was, starting out in real estate, having an office. And believe me, I've had pretty significant offices that I've owned with all those expenses. But I love working out of my house. I have no problem. My home and my car, and being a kitchen broker is now a badge of honor. To me, it's like someone who's smart enough to realize you don't need all of those expenses, all those trappings. And it's a great business, real estate.
It absolutely is. And obviously you've done very well in it. And I look forward to meeting you at eXp events. Everybody thinks we're virtual, but we do all meet, we do see each other. I really appreciate you coming to speak with us today. And thank you, Kenny. And again, if anybody needs any information and wants to reach out to Kenny, his information is there. I'll also post it in the comments. Thank you again. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon in the world.
Thanks for having me, Vicky. Take care.
Thank you, Kenny.
Bye.
Bye.